20-second audio import capture, Yeti, okay. All right, guys, Max and Max's Models. We have Steve with us. Ken's supposed to be checking in soon. Real quick, if you guys can hear us, let us know. Make sure our sound is working. And I'll keep the... Oh, there he is. Ken just showed up. Okay. Boy, he's almost... I'm not sure if we should give him a tardy or not. Okay, there he is. All right. Okay, Ken, let me pin this. Please pin. Add pin. Let's get it all pinned here so we're all big on the screen. All right. Yeah, okay, they can hear us. Very good. Well, hey, guys. Ken, welcome back.
Thank you.
Just how doped up are you right now?
I think the pain meds have worn off. I'm starting to feel.
I see that thing you got on your chin. Did the dentist give you that, or your wife?
Yeah, that's the.
So that wasn't Debbie giving you the back of her hand or anything.
No, that's from the dentist. Yes.
Oh, okay. Boy, he's pretty rough.
It was a she actually, a middle-aged Korean woman, did me in.
Holy shit!
Got
It looks like you got
slapped around by a
lasered.
middle-aged Korean woman. Now there's a Friday night.
Looks like you got lasered.
Nah, man, that's got old school knuckle marks on it, man.
Yeah, she did.
What did you say? Maybe those teeth didn't come out anyway. Maybe she just did it for sport.
No, she told me she did do it for sport.
She told you that. That's how you know they did it. Was they told you they didn't?
Yeah, she told me she didn't do this for fun.
We got a question. Hey, Ken, did you and your
Did you tell her neither do you?
What?
Whoa, one at a time. What?
Did you tell her neither do you?
Tell her what?
Neither do you do this for fun?
Oh. No, I just laid there and passively let her just yank teeth out of me.
So, not like Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors, the guy that loved to go to the dentist.
No, that was not my choice. Apparently there was some infection at the bottom of a couple of teeth that were risking the teeth themselves. So they said, well, you got to yank them and put in implants. And I said...
So she was in there like a Texas oil rig, just...
Oh, yeah,
I've been watching Landman.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, she was in there scraping hard, I tell you. It was not something I want to relive. Although she did give me the choice if I wanted to get put under, and I said, nah, I'm good.
See, you do like the pain.
What was her definition of being put under?
Hey, Family Channel.
Oh, Steve.
But I gotta admit, Ken, I didn't realize you like a slap and a tickle so much. So, but okay,
Yeah, this tickled a whole lot. Yeah, it was very tickling.
Hey, your response when somebody asked about this, yeah, you should see the other guy. But
it's really showing up today. I was surprised to see it there so much. There was some there yesterday, but wow, it's really dark today.
I just can't help but wonder if, while she was doing this, she was wearing like thigh highs with stiletto heels. I just wondered. But wow. Somehow we have started off completely off the mark tonight.
Well, let's tangent into it.
Tangent into it.
We started on a tangent. Let's get into it. So anyway, guys, as you know from the pre-briefings, we are going to be talking about the airplanes. Well, we're going to be talking about wild paint schemes on airplanes. We're starting off with what were referred to as formation aircraft. I've got a bunch of kit model examples to show you and some real world ones. And what I figured is a lot of us have built military airplanes until we're just, we've done every camo scheme and everything. After a while, you like something new. And this is an opportunity to do something different, with your World War II model bomber or even fighter, as we'll talk about. And they would take, and Ken, you had asked earlier, I was talking about, when the airplanes form up, it's like everybody's painted the same color, either aluminum or olive drab. Where am I supposed to go? All the airplanes look alike. Where's my slot? Well, they would take these war-weary airplanes and they would paint them in these wild colors and use them as a formation aircraft that everybody formed up on. And then once you saw the formation plane and you saw everybody's going to place, you knew where your slot was. And okay, then once the entire group was organized, that beat up old, usually, not always, but usually guns removed, bomber would fall out of the formation, go back home, and then the group would head on its merry way. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail later. But we will look at some pretty wild examples of the paint schemes.
Tom Fox says, Ken, make up a story. Maybe pirates?
I saw that. Come up with something better than just go and get your 2 teeth yanked.
Because as the history guy says, because isn't every story, it doesn't every great story have pirates? So, unfortunately, these are all black and white, but color pictures to follow. These are some representative examples of some of the wilder paint schemes. The one on the lower left, I think, is the one we just saw. And they gave them names and everything. We'll show a few of them later. But there was no regulation. It just had to be something that people could not miss. And I'm telling you, looking at some of these paint schemes, there were some crew chiefs out there that had a little bit of the was it Pollock or Salvador Dali in them, because those are some pretty wild schemes. And you think about it, had to take a lot of work to do that, because those stripes are nice and even, those stagger patterns and all that other stuff. This was not something that was just slapped on there. These guys took their time to think about what they're doing, work it out, and as we're going to see, some of them are right attractive, and there are decal sets for some of these planes.
I like the one that's got the multiple noses on the side of the cockpit.
That was
really clever.
Yes, that was that plane had actually flown on the Plesty mission. We're going to look at it later, and that was back when they were getting into the whole deceptive paint scheme thing. And you sit and look at the ground and go, "Oh, it's kind of cool, it's art." But when you're moving 300 miles an hour, it can actually confuse a gunner and throw them off. One of the things I saw in a World War I biplane was the British tried a little trick. They had chevrons on the upper wing, but instead of the chevrons meeting at the center, they met off to the right. And the whole idea was that a German shooting at you would instinctively aim for the top of the chevron, which hopefully would throw those rounds past your airplane. And of course, you have the dazzle patterns on ships. We'll be looking at some dazzle patterns on planes later. Dazzle patterns weren't just for ships, they were also for planes. But the technology behind them was different, because a dazzle pattern on a ship needs the ocean to help it work. On an airplane, it wasn't quite as successful, as we'll talk about in a bit. But it makes a cool way to paint your airplane.
Max, take your sip so we can talk. Thank you. Okay, what I was going to say. Holy cow, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the chevron pattern not meeting in the middle. Is there any conclusive evidence that that actually worked? Like bullet holes in the center of the chevron? As opposed to
none whatsoever. I don't even know if the airplane ever actually got shot at, but it was something they did as a just in case. Don't even get me started on the whole, what they call survivor bias thing, about how they misconcluded which airplanes were what were the most critical areas on the airplane. You're familiar with that one, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. In fact, why don't you explain it?
Okay. Back when I was doing some programming work for I forgot what agency it was, but the database was of military ejection seat activity from military aircraft.
Now, was it just out of F-14s or all of them?
All military aircraft.
Okay.
And one of the things that they used with the database for was to trying to figure out what parts of the airplanes were the most critical. So they looked at battle damage on aircraft that came back and recorded it. And after a while, they discovered that there were some airplanes that never came back with battle damage in certain areas, and determined that, okay, those are the sensitive areas of the aircraft that got hit and never came back.
Right. Now, they learned to do that because during the war, they were looking at that. They actually made a mistake where that is concerned. They looked at all the shot up airplanes that came back, and they were like, oh, this airplane barely made it back and it shot up here. This is a sensitive area. And somebody later on figured out, wait a minute, but this plane did make it back. That plays the spots that are not hit are the sensitive areas.
Right. And along with that same information, as far as keeping track of ejections from aircraft, they discovered that there was a certain combination of aircraft and manufacturer's seat that every time the pilot ejected, it was always fatal.
Oh, that was the F-102 or F-106, I think, yeah, or the F-104. Yeah, one of the Century series. And there were a lot, the early seats on, I think it was the Convair seats on the early F-102s and 106s weren't working. And I think it was, if I remember right, it was the Weber seat that they put in that fixed that problem. But, yeah, as they started getting up in the really high-speed aircraft, they realized that your chances of surviving a Mach 1 plus ejection were not great, even with a seat that did work perfectly. And
well, they classified them broadly into in envelope and out of envelope.
Right. And the Russian seats, believe it or not, if I'm not mistaken,